Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Vocational International Program Summer Course 2024, brought to you by Department of Business and Finance, Vocational College, Diponegoro University. It is a great pleasure for me to have you here. Well, my name is Stacia Mege, and I am here to discuss an important topic that sits at the intersection of global trade and environmental sustainability, which is green trade agreements and policies. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore how trade can be aligned with environmental goals to promote a more sustainable future. So I hope you will enjoy our presentation. Let me share my screen. We're going to try to understand the intersection of trade and environmental sustainability. To start, let's define what we mean by green trade. Green trade refers to the integration of environmental sustainability into trade agreements and policies. These agreements ensure that as we engage in global trade, export, and also import, we do so in a way that minimizes environmental impact and promotes sustainable practices. Why is it so important then? Well, the importance of green trade cannot be overstated. In today's world, where climate change and environmental degradation are critical concerns, aligning our trade practices with sustainability goal is really essential. Green trade agreements serve as a powerful tool to reduce the ecological footprint of global trade and ensure that economic growth does not come at the expense of environment. Green trade agreements typically include several key elements, as we can see here in our slide, the overview of green trade agreements. First, of course, they establish environmental standards such as reducing carbon emissions and promoting sustainable resource use. These agreements often include provisions that encourage the adoption of renewable energy, sustainable agricultural practices, and, of course, the protection of natural ecosystems. For example, the European Union's Green Deal is a comprehensive plan aimed at making EU climate neutral by 2050. It includes trade measures that encourage the EU's trading partners to adopt similar environmental standards. Another example is the US-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or USMCA, which include specific chapters on environmental protection, focusing on reducing pollution and conserving natural resources. Well, green trade is supported by a range of international and national policies. On the international level, we have agreements like the Paris Agreement, which aims to limit global warming and includes provisions for carbon trading. Later, in another elective subjects, you can also learn about carbon trading. Another example is the World Trade Organization's Environmental Goods Agreement, which seeks to eliminate tariff on green goods, such as renewable energy technologies, making them more accessible worldwide. At the national level, countries like Japan have developed strategies that integrate environmental objectives into their trade policies. Well, Japan's Green Growth Strategy, for example, promotes the export of green technologies and supports the adoption of sustainable practice domestically. National policies are crucial in supporting the broader goal of international green trade agreements. Let's take a look at some case studies here. two case studies that illustrates the impact of green trade agreements. First, we can see here the European Union's Green Deal, as we mentioned also in the previous slide. This ambitious initiative aims to make the EU climate neutral by 2050. The Green Deal integrates sustainability into all aspects of EU policy, including trade. It encourages the EU's trading partner to adopt similar environmental standards, thereby extending the reach of its environmental policies beyond its borders. So not only in EU, but also their trading partners and other countries that trade with EU's countries. The next one is still with EU, but we can see here the Asian EU cooperation on green economy and sustainable development. It promotes collaboration in renewable energy, energy efficiency, and sustainable urbanization, supporting green technology transfer and sustainable supply chain. The impact on trade is enhanced trade in green technologies and sustainable products between Asian countries and also EU. While green trade agreements are crucial for sustainability, they do come with challenges. One major challenge is, of course, economic. Countries, especially developing ones, may face difficulties balancing their economic growth with their environmental protection. The costs associated with adopting green technologies can be quite significant, and there may be concerns about the potential impact on economic competitiveness. Another challenge is regulatory. Environmental regulations vary widely across countries, making it a little bit difficult to harmonize standards globally. This variability can create barriers to trade and complicate the implementation of green trade agreements. That's what we face in the export and import. We need to understand what regulation the other country have, especially if we want to make it a sustainable export where we want to keep the environmental side. We need really to understand the regulation in the country that we are going to export or maybe import. This variability can create barriers here and make it difficult for countries to trade with one another. Finally, compliance and enforcement present significant challenges. Ensuring that all signatories adhere to the environmental standards set out in these agreements can be a little bit complex. Effective monitoring and enforcement mechanisms are essential, but they're often difficult to implement. Well, we can see here in our next slide is the opportunities and future directions. Despite the challenges, there are significant opportunities for green trade agreements to drive positive change. One of the key opportunities lies in innovation, of course. Yeah, green trade agreements can create demand for new green technologies, such as renewable energy and sustainable agricultural practices. These, in turn, can drive technological advancement and help reduce the environmental impact of various industries. Global collaboration is also really crucial because environmental challenges like climate change are transboundary issues that require international cooperation. Well, by working together, countries can develop and implement trade policies that support sustainability on global scale. That's why in many um, maybe Asian meetings or G20 meetings, they never miss to discuss about this global collaboration in tackling the environmental challenges like climate change because it is a transboundary issues. Looking ahead, there is a great potential for new green trade agreements, of course. As awareness of environmental issues continue to grow, we may see the development of new bilateral or maybe multilateral agreements focused on promoting sustainability through trade. These agreements can set new standards and, of course, help drive the global economy toward a more sustainable future. And as a conclusion, green trade agreements play a vital role in aligning trade policies with environmental sustainability goals, and they help ensure that economic activities contribute to a sustainable future rather than detracting from it. As a global environmental challenges intensify, the importance of green trade agreements will only increase. By integrating environmental considerations into trade, we can help address these challenges and promote more sustainable global economy. Well, for the assignment today, please share any initiatives or programs in your country that are related to green trade agreements or sustainable trade practices, just like what we have seen in the example here. Yeah, EU Green Deal, or maybe the Asian EU cooperation, or maybe the national policies like Japan's green growth strategy. So please share any initiatives in your own country that are related to the green trade agreements or sustainable trade practices. Well, thank you so much for your attention. I'd be happy to receive any question. You can contact me later. And I hope that you enjoy these elective subjects. Thank you very much. See you.